Okay, so we will be looking at thought to execution, a deep dive into managing projects with Atlassian. Now, you must be wondering why we are doing this. Well, security products need to be made. So we will be looking into how security products are made, or any products are made. We'll be going through the thought behind what happens. Okay, let's get started. So a little bit about me. I have 9 years experience in building products. I have built and led Atlassian apps. I'm also an amateur singer. Don't ask me to sing right now, though. Okay. Thought. It all starts with a thought. You have always wanted to do something, but you're not sure what that is. There's that feeling where you have an itch to do something awesome, but you're not sure what that awesome thing is yet. And then one day, there's a light bulb. You think of starting to build. But you don't know where to start from. I'm sure we have all been in such a situation. My friend had a similar situation. There was a bird which was disturbing him. And he tried to shoo it away, but it was not going. He tried, so he decided that he will take it upon himself to do something about it. My dear friends, my friend is Wile E. Coyote. And the bird in question, Roadrunner. I'm pretty sure you must have heard of them at some point. Just like you, he did not know where to start from, so he approached me. OK, so I'll let you on in a little secret right now. I take Acme Corp assignments by night. Don't tell my boss. This is just a fun nickname my friends came up with. And what I turn to, my companion, this suite of tools which makes my job easier. Back to my friend, he had a few failed attempts with a certain company's product, like you can see. I took up his problem, and this is that story. So let's go. So me and Wiley sat down to understand his journey, which has led him to this stage. He is all tired of trying many products of Acme, but they're not working. So the most important part was to go through all these failed attempts and think of new products which we could pick up, or something which we could explore further. But I'm not sure who took this photo, but it's a nice photo. OK, so we shortlisted these 5 products, and our aim was to pick up one and make a better version of it. So you can see there are some very interesting products here. Wiley liked a few, but some are not that feasible. So we decided to go with the rocket skates, and we decided to call it Acme Rocket-Powered Roller Skates Mark II. We started with some research. We looked at the current product. This is an existing demo of the product, actually, and came up with a few ideas to improve it. But we all needed a tool to jot down all these ideas down. We used a product called Jira Project Discovery, which is a part of Atlassian Suite. Jira Project Discovery allows you to make a note of ideas. In addition, there are many more fields like goals, insights, impact, effort, and comments, which you can use to make decisions on the idea. Based on these, you can decide where they fit in your roadmap, and also add documents to support the idea. Let's take a look at what can enhance the rocket-powered roller skates. OK, so we will be going through Jira Project Discovery. So this is the dashboard for Jira Project Discovery. As you can see, I have already added a lot of ideas here. So this is the project, which is Redo Acme Products, which is what I'm doing. And here are some ideas which we came up with, like advanced navigation system, voice control app. And then there are some safety features, too. Like I mentioned in the presentation, you can jot down impact and effort against each of these ideas. So it will give you a good idea. That will give you a good idea of where that idea is listed or is in the priority of all the ideas. Because I was able to jot these down and I was able to add some insights as well, I could set a confidence level for these ideas. So whenever you're making a product, you come up with a lot of ideas. Some you really like, but may not have that of an impact. So this is a very important exercise for you to understand where those ideas stand in terms of the roadmap or the vision of the product. So I have rated confidence here, and you can see that I have a roadmap. So this is now, this is next. So the ones which are in now, that's what we are working on right now. What I'll do, I'll quickly create a new idea so you can get a better understanding of how this works. So let's take an example of collision aversion control. OK, so Wiley is very prone to collisions. So I thought this would be a really good idea to do. So I'll rate a very high impact so that it gets saved. I would probably put this a 3 in effort. And based on that, I'll also add this insight for my other team members to read. So I created an insight. Wiley gets into a lot of collisions. So this will surely help him. OK, so I have created this. Now, others can add comments here. And let's see. So based on this, I'll be able to rate my confidence later, but I can do that a little bit right now. So I'll say here, and this is a safety feature. So I'll put it in the safety features category. Now, because I've already started working on the apps, on the ideas which are listed in now, and my plate is pretty full, I will put this in next and probably fix the rest of the priorities later. OK. I also need to have a goal for the product. What does the product bring to the table? So it is something which Wiley will be very happy with. So I'll say delight users. And there you go. OK. So back to the presentation. OK. So now that we have nailed down our ideas and decided what to work on first, I had to communicate the agenda with the team, the bigger team, but my team wasn't in Pune, and they were across the world. So I will have to check their calendar, understand, communicate what I needed, what this project needed. But that would have been very difficult because every one of us are in different time zones. So I use Loom instead. Simply put, Loom lets me record a video of myself along with the background so that everyone can understand what is the context. So this is a screenshot of a video which I took explaining exactly what I did right now, which was explaining the project of the ideas which I came up for Jira project management, Jira project discovery. At a later point, it also serves as a reminder of what the project vision was and what it is used for. Let's quickly go through this video of some features. So in Loom, Loom is also a product of Atlassian. It was actually acquired by Atlassian recently. So we'll be looking at edit using transcript. So as I took the video, the Loom application automatically took what I was saying. It understood what I was saying and put that in a transcript. So if you see here, it says, is this working 1, 2? OK, yes, we are here. So that is completely unnecessary. So what I'm doing here is selecting all of it and clicking on this button called trim. Once I say trim, and I say play, then, okay, hold on. Okay, so it basically starts from here. Hi, Acme crew. So what we are achieving, people who are using Loom, they're not expected to be voice artists. They are just trying to communicate something. So even if they are not perfect, that can be fixed. You can remove filler words, you can remove silences, and this can be sent to your team or to anyone. One other good thing, I did not put in anything. It automatically picked up the title New Product Development Meeting and also put the summary, and it put everything which I was talking about. So it was the perfect summary for the video, and I did not have to work on it at all. So yeah, that was Loom. Hold on a minute. Okay, so now that we were done with ideas, the topic or the agenda of the project was also discussed with everyone. What we needed to do was start planning. So now that we have to start planning, we needed a place where everyone could collaborate and plan. So that we did on Confluence. Confluence is basically a space where you can put in your thoughts, your ideas in terms of documents, images, and so on. So this is something what Confluence would look like. Let's take a look. So this, I created a project for voice control app and created a sample page here. As you can see, it's quite a little different from Google Docs because you are able to create these many things which you're probably not able to do in a Google Docs, like this timeline which is over here. You are able to link it to Jira, which I'll come to later. You are able to add such tables inside very quickly, and you're able to edit it as well. Yeah, and in this, you can have multiple pages, and you can even embed pages inside other pages, like in a folder structure. So it really helps organize all your documents and all the plans which you want to do. Now what I'll do, I'll create a new space. So we'll go back to spaces. I'll create one space here. So I need something which will help me do product management. So I'll select this, go next. Testing for identity shield, and create space. Okay. I guess it's doing the legwork. Okay. So it has created, okay, this is an existing page, but what it does is create content for you, create sample content for you, and you can use all of these to create more content. I will also create a page here. Okay. So since I'm talking about product management and I want to talk about, say, we are into the planning and design phase, so I will try to add a design component. Okay. So as soon as I selected a template, what it is doing, it is giving me the entire framework of what I'll need to the entire framework, so that I don't need to mention each and everything, and I can just get down to the data. So giving this a title, so we were working on the collision aversion control. Okay, so let's say this is done. Okay, so the component name could be, say, I create an app, so could be an app launch page. First page of the app, probably I can attach a diagram here and explain the diagram. I'll just publish this right now. Now, one of the great things about Confluence, right now I'm doing this all by myself, but a lot of people continuously can edit and work on the entire page without having to lock it for themselves. For example, if you're working on a page, that page probably gets locked, and not everyone is able to write at the same time. But here, a lot of people can edit it together, and there will be no issue in terms of data loss in concern of what you're writing. OK, so that was Confluence. Now we will be moving on to designing. So we have all the information in one place with Confluence, but we needed a tool where the design team can manage their tasks, and I can also review their designs. So we have done idea, we have done planning, and we have come to design at this point. OK, so for that, I will be using Trello. Trello is a very simple visual Kanban and project management tool. It gives us an overview of the tasks which are being worked on using board, list, and helps you organize and prioritize tasks as well. It is best for small teams. For bigger teams, it is slightly less complex. So let me give you a small tour for that as well. OK, so first I'll go to board. So if you see here, this is my workspace for Trello. This is the project which I'm working on, and these are two personal projects. So Trello can also be used for your personal tracking, not just work-related tracking. So like I have two personal things and one work-related thing. So I have a design huddle here. So I'll show you this one. You can add a title, you can add a description. This has a really good integration with Figma. So I was able to add 2 Figma pages to this, which is very useful as far as designers are concerned. And in in this, I'm also able to create a checklist. So actually, the launch page and sign-up page in Figma are already done. So I'll just check them, and you can see in the progress bar, then you're just left with one item to go. So this is really useful in terms of design. This which I selected is a design type. What I'll do, I'll create one more board so that we are able to see how this happens from the start. So I would say collision, aversion, control, and create. OK, so I want a design huddle. So wait, this collision, aversion, control. OK, so even in this, because I've used templates, now I can get started with working. I don't need to create new lists of what and how I'll get my work done. If I need any new lists, like they have concept, notes, positive, negative, have you considered potential blockers? OK, I can create a new list. Input for developers, because after all, they're designing, and that design will go to developers. OK, so input for developers, I can probably add a card here. Share app design with assets. Assets are basically images or whatever the developers will need to properly design it. I can go here. So I already have this. Share assets for images of launch page, etc. So I've added this. I can add a checklist here. I can also, so we saw checklist earlier, so I can also add dates here. So let's say this needs to be done by the 29th of Feb, and I'll save. So this is 29th of Feb. Now it will give a reminder, like it said here, it will give a reminder 1 day before. So the person who is looking at this, they will get a reminder to complete this at that point. Now, this is something which someone else needs to do. I will not be working on this, but what I can do is I can watch. As soon as I click watch, what happens? Whenever someone adds something here, I will get a notification that this thing has been added, either a Figma file or the design files. When those are added, so I'll get a notification, and I can tell the developers, OK, this is done. Now you can work on this. OK, so that was a quick demo of Trello. Let's get back to our presentation. OK, so Trello is good for small teams, but when you have complex tasks and a lot of tasks, at that time it gets difficult to manage them in Trello, and they can probably get lost there. So for that, we needed another tool, and for that, I decided to use Jira software. Jira software allows me to use agile frameworks like Scrum and Kanban to manage tasks. We earlier used Kanban in Trello, where we were able to visualize the progression and the tasks in Kanban. So a very quick overview of Scrum process, for those of you who are not aware. So Scrum revolves around work cycles called sprints, which are 2 to 4 weeks. The key components of a Scrum process are sprint planning, which involves setting goals and tasks. You have a daily stand-up meeting for the team to update each other on progress and any obstacles they are facing. There is sprint review to present the work done during the sprint. And there is sprint retrospective to learn from the past sprint and improve processes in this current sprint. We also have roles within Scrum process, which are product owner, Scrum master, and the development team. The Scrum master facilitates Scrum process and resolves impediments. The product owner defines the work and the priorities of the project. The development team are the ones who actually carry out the work. Now, in Jira, I'm able to manage the backlogs and plan sprints in a time-bound manner and more. So we'll be looking at that right now. OK, let's see. OK, so this is a Jira project which I've already created. So in Jira project, you can see that these are different tickets. They are called issues. An issue looks something like this. So you have a description. You have all these details, who is it assigned to, who is the parent, which sprint it is in, and which release it is in. You can add comments also. Here, you can see one of the tasks is done. And what I'm looking at right now, this page in itself is a backlog. What a backlog means is a list of tasks which needs to be done. So this is the backlog, and this is the ongoing sprint. You can also track the ongoing sprint in a Kanban view using a board. So this is a Kanban view where I have a few tasks which are ongoing in the current sprint, and you can see that there are multiple stages to it. One of them is in to-do, and one is in done. So say I am working on something. I have started working on something already, which is collecting basic requirements. So I can hold on a second. I can change this from to-do to in progress. And now you can see it here. One of the advantages of Jira is that you can have custom workflows, which means that you can decide from to-do it goes where, then it goes where. You must be thinking there are barely 4 columns, then where will it go? So you can add many other, like Gaurav was talking about code review, very important. So we can have code review added as well. There it is. So it will become a part of this process, and you can set that without code review. I'll put it here. Without code review, it cannot go to in progress. So these are the things which each team can define for themselves what they have to do first and what they have to do next. I will create a new sprint here. So I'll go to backlog. OK. So I do create sprint. Now I have created a sprint. I can drag and drop some issues here. So design wireframes, we were already talking about that. And I've added just 2 for now, and say we'll start the sprint. We'll set a start date and end date. I think this is a little too late. So I'll set it to 5th. 2 weeks is good enough. And start. OK. So this is the second sprint. Design wireframes are already in progress. So I'll put it here. We can also create new issues or new tasks to be done. Like I have this new collision control thing. So collision version control app. I'll add this. So app design. OK. OK, I'm just putting dummy data in here for now. And I can add more information here. OK. So I'm saying list features, which will be in collision control, collision aversion control app, and create sub-tickets. And save. Now, since it is saying list features, I can add a child issue as well and say child issue 1. I'm just doing that for now. And child issue 2. So here we are able to add 2 subtasks to an already existing task, which is, say, a bigger task than this. Okay. In addition to this, you can also connect Jira to Confluence. We saw Confluence earlier. Confluence was, we had some planning in it. So I have already connected the Confluence page here. So what happens, people who are working on Jira, they don't need to jump back and forth from Confluence to Jira. And they can just go to projects pages, and they can view all of these. So if I say, OK, this is home. Yeah. So this is the one which we saw earlier with the roadmap and the feature details. So this can be viewed directly from Jira rather than opening Confluence separately. This makes it very convenient for people, for developers, as well as those who are planning. The integration of Jira and Confluence, yeah, it's pretty great. OK. So that's all for Jira. Now, so while Jira is used to manage all these feature tasks, this is only the plan. We have only made a plan of what we need to do, what features will go, and we need to mark it as done, or mark it as progress, or mark it as code review. But all of this is not, these are tasks which are still not done in Jira. So I need another tool where the code needs to be managed. So that's done in Bitbucket. Bitbucket is a space where developers can create and share code. It is a Git repository and has exclusive built-in continuous integration tool. Let's take a quick tour. So a while back, I was checking Bitbucket, but there's something faulty maybe. We'll try to do the tour. If not, I have backup. So this is there's a sample voice control app. So this is, these are the code files. Now, there are multiple things which you can do from Bitbucket. You can do commits. Or maybe I'll show here. OK, so these are the files which we saw. You can do commits. As you can see, there are multiple commits. Gaurav was very helpful and added a few commits first. I added a commit, you can see, 15 minutes ago. So I just added a line in README to do a sample commit. I raised a pull request, which on the left side, you can see this pull request tab. You can see the pull request from there. After that, I went into repository settings. That's a few features in repository settings which are pretty good. One, default reviewers. Default reviewers can be set here so that anyone who is raising a request, the request will directly go to a default reviewer. And then you have branch restrictions, which can be made so that only some people have write and merge access. OK. In Bitbucket, you can also connect to Jira issues and create a branch from here. As you can see, I created a branch for stab 3. It's actually stabilization, so don't worry. So created a branch from here, and yeah. OK, so after this, after the integration was done, after the code was done, we deployed, we sent the product to Wiley. And he gave it a testing. As with any first version of a product, he did not look very happy about it. He had a lot of concerns. So we needed to make sure that the relevant team is addressing them. The concerns don't get lost in a pile of emails, and he can always come back and check the discussion which took place. So we ended up using Jira Service Management for this. Jira Services Management is used to manage requests, incidents, and changes. This can be requests from external clients or internal teams. It took time, but one by one, we were able to address all the concerns which he had raised through tickets. So let's take a look at those. OK, so in Jira Service Management, there are multiple views. This is an agent view. So I am an agent who responds. In this case, I'm responding to Wiley. So I can respond to his requests. And this is a customer view, which is visible to Wiley. This is where he can respond from. Now I will submit a new request. So you can see. Say I told him about the collision aversion. So he's excited about the collision aversion. Very unlike him. OK. So this request has been raised. And to Wiley, see, he raised it. To Wiley, this is what the view is. The customers see this. But I'll show you what I see. I'll just reload this so that I can see the request. In an ideal scenario, I get an email that there's a new request. OK, so I can see the request here. And what you see is the agent view. I'm able to manage a lot of different things here. I'm able to assign it to different people. Say this is currently going on in the design team, so I will assign it to the design team from here. And I'll add an internal note. Say, I'm basically telling the design team that they have to reply to Wiley and tell them that the design is good. So this is an internal note. If I show you here, Wiley does not see anything. So this is basically a way for agents to communicate with each other without telling the customer what they're talking about. And I'll say reply, hey, we are excited to show you the designs we have come up with. Okay, done. So one of the great things about Jira Service Management for me is automation. So there's an automation feature which basically tells you that whenever a ticket comes in, um, when an issue is created, automatically assign using balance load. No, I don't want that. When an incident is created, assign it to on-call responder. So you have all these options, all these templates which you can use. Basically, whenever tickets are coming, to ensure that when a customer is reaching out to you, you don't miss out. You are able to use all these automations. Prompt customer for comment. If the customer is delaying the comment, you can add this. When a comment is added, update the status. So you can set all of this, say, scheduled in 5 days. Yeah. So I turn it on, and we're done. Hi there, we haven't heard from you in a while. This will go to customers. If they don't, send an update in 5 days. OK. So this is about Jira Service Management. Moving on. So what did we start from is the idea. The idea that we had about this product, which was the rocket-powered roller skates. We tackled that with Jira Project Discovery. We tackled planning and some of the analysis with Jira Project Discovery and Confluence both. You remember we added insights, comments, and we also added documentation. So that was done in Confluence. Then we went on to design. Obviously, in design, you can't do everything using Atlassian. You have Figma for that. But you were able to track that for the team in Trello. You have implementation. So for implementation, for tracking, we use Jira to check that our implementation is working as planned, is working on schedule, and Bitbucket for source control. And after deployment, we have the post-deployment support, which is done in Jira Service Management. There's one thing which is not mentioned here, and it's a part of Bitbucket. Bitbucket have these, if I can show you quickly, Bitbucket have these pipelines and deployments which you can use for CI/CD. So you can also use Bitbucket for testing once you set that up. OK. So I guess that's it. Thank you, everyone. If you have any feedback, you can scan this QR code and send your feedback. I guess that will be all.